Hi everybody, Antony The Physio Detective here. I'm in Toronto Airport and it's snowing and I've got a 2-hour delay on my flight, so I'm not getting home for another 24 hours. I thought I'd make a video and explain to you why it seems like isolation techniques are taught on my course, and just to put them in their place just so that nobody's confused. Okay, so first of all, we're talking about patients with incontinence, pelvic organ prolapse, chronic pelvic pain, diastasis rectus abdominis, as well as the usual musculoskeletal and sports pain and symptoms. So first of all, we're dealing with those patients. Second of all, I want you to remember that the summary of my treatment technique is to do something different. If we can change their pain and change their symptoms straight away by moving differently, by doing the exercise differently, by doing different things, then we don't go to isolation contractions. It's just not necessary. I showed you how to retest for that. Thirdly, if we've done all of that and we want to still help our patient and they're not responding to doing something differently, then we can try an isolation technique to get that brain change, because we're still looking for the symptoms and the pain to change so that we can make the brain changes that we need. So an isolated contraction has been shown to change the brain. We don't have to do it for very long, and I'll reiterate that in a minute. So when we lie them down, again, it's not to teach them how to stabilize, it's to teach them an awareness and a different motor pattern to what they usually do, because as I've explained before, we usually test them on what they usually do. So that's number one. Number two, it's only very broken people that you have to really train at the isolation stage. They're very debilitated or very symptomatic. They can't even walk around without symptoms. Then we're going to do some isolation work. Otherwise, the majority of your patients will be up and moving. We only use lying down and teaching these contractions so that they just get an awareness, and then we're up and moving again. All right, lastly, I do teach it for performance. But you'll remember that when I teach you the isolation techniques and the routine, we're going to then put a trigger to it. And the trigger allows you to remove the thinking from it and get back to automatic routines, automatic function as soon as possible. So you go through the routine, breathe in, relax, breathe out, back, front, in, together, grow, but then we add the trigger. Once you've got the trigger, then you don't have to think about it. Again, we test and retest to make sure that that's working for you. So remember, we are not stabilizing the body using isolated core muscle techniques. We are just using different motor patterns. It's a neurological trick. We're just doing something different so that we can dissociate the pain or the symptoms from the activity that we're trying to teach and do. All right, I hope that came across really clearly. I've had a fun 3 weeks. These delays don't really mean much to me, except that I don't see my family for another 24 hours, but such is the life of a traveler. I really love traveling. I really love being with you guys and learning from you and your enthusiasm. It's been a fantastic 3 weeks. Thank you very much.